I'm going to show you some of the graphic design tools you can use to edit images in Google Slides. We'll start with resize, then rotate, and I'll go through a few different ones to show you the basics of how they work. So let's start with resizing an image. When you click on the image, you'll notice little blue dots that come around the edge of the picture that you bring in. So to resize the image is pretty simple. You just simply slide those slide them down, and you can see they're resized the image you have. If you do from the corner, it'll be proportionally. If you slide from the side, it'll change the dimension. So like this case, we squished in the side, so now our two dogs look a little taller and fatter than they were. And the same thing with the top. When you squeeze down here, it squeezes down non-proportionally, whereas from the corner, it does it proportionally. You can also change, you have a couple of ways of changing the orientation of the image. When you click on it, you have a little handle up here which lets you rotate. You can see the little percent signs coming up any degree that you want. All right, so if I want to do it at 50, about here, so that's more of an estimate. I can also right-click on it, on the picture, and I can rotate it, and I can tell it to flip it horizontally, vertically, rotate clockwise, or rotate counterclockwise. I often do this when I have a picture facing, I want to change it where the image is facing. I'll flip it horizontally so they're looking the other way. You can do these also up here underneath underneath the range. You have the same options that you have by right-clicking. So to crop an image, or cut out parts of it, once again you double-click on the image. All right, so clicking once will bring the blue bars up. Double-clicking on the image will bring these little black bars up. You can also do this by choosing crop image here. All right. And with the black bars, I can crop the image a couple ways. If I pull from the side, it actually cut out parts of it. So if I want to isolate this dog, I can cut out parts, and there's my image. When I click on the image, double click on the image, I don't lose the parts that I cropped. They're still there, but you just can't see them. So I could always go back and put those parts back in. I can go from the top down, do the same thing. I wanted to cut down, say, just to the dog's bodies. All right. You can also, if you hold the Shift key and go to the corner here, you can do it proportionally. So this is very much like when you use the drag down from the corner with the resize. It'll do it proportionally, so it cuts out the same amount. Hold the Shift key down, I can cut out proportionally what I have. If I hold the Control key down and do this, what it does, it goes all the way, it does proportionally all the way around, so I can isolate. And I have the consistent border this. And I can cut out a consistent border with it. One nice thing too, I can always undo, but another option I have, let's say I do a lot of cropping and I want to get back to my original image. If I go up under Format and reset my image, it'll take me back to the original cropping, but it will actually change the size of it, so that's something to consider. Okay, so that's the basics of cropping. Now, before we go on, well, I want to show you this. If you go under format options with the image chosen, you get a lot of these things. You get a lot of these choices also for the side here. So you can change the size rotation. You can be very specific. You can say, I want the width scale to be, I can rotate at a very specific angle. I can also change if I want to proportionally change it, if I lock the aspect ratio, I can change it so this exactly 50% size. I can make it a particular width and height. I can put it in the exact position I want. I can do a little recoloring. I've not really used this very much, but it's kind of a cute thing that you can do. I can make some adjustments to make it more transparent. I can change the brightness. So this gives you a lot more specific controls. If you have that you want to do add a drop shadow or reflection, this gives you some other choices that you can do with the image. All right. If I click on here and I want to add a border, so let's expand this out a little bit. I can do this by going border weight, and I can put a border around it. If I can change the color of my border here. I can change what it looks like, going dots. If I go up and under format and borders and lines, I have a lot more choices. Not only have a border weight, border type, I can do like a double border. I can do this is some interesting ones here, like a thick thin. So it's a little hard to tell here. Let me make the border thicker and it'll be easier to see. I can create an outside, so it's like this effect. I can also change around like this. So there's some nice little, this is a nice way to isolate your images and create nice, make it look, not only look good, but kind of give you different effects. All right, so let's talk about layers.